I mean, in the short term, sounds like, Washington wins in, kidnapping Maduro out of the country and bring him on trial in the US. But in the long term, this has, seriously damaged the US image on the international stage. And it caused fear and hatred in Latin America rather than, winning respect and trust. So in the long run, I think the US will lose a lot, actually. If what the US is going to do in Venezuela hurts the Chinese economic interests, and China will certainly retaliate, not necessarily in Latin America, but in other parts of the world. I mean, the US has economic interests in every part of the world. And in some places, maybe China is poised in a more advantageous position than the US. So China can, take actions to discriminate against US business activities. So that is what I mean by saying this will become a bilateral issue.
The biggest concern for Beijing concerning the whole issue between the US and Venezuela concerns the erosion of the principle of non-intervention in other countries and the respect of sovereignty of other countries. Because the US seems to want to be the world police. And that's very concerning for China. That would be a threat for China, because that could means that the US would interfere, for example, in the issue of Taiwan, which is something that China considers of a matter of domestic affairs. And also it could mean that the US will try to strengthen its efforts to limit its presence in other countries in Latin America or elsewhere.
Countries who are threatened by the US, what they expect from China is not just rhetorical support. They need actions. They need concrete measures. So I think, this is a challenge for China's diplomacy down the road. We have to, as I mentioned, think more and more about our overseas security presence, not only to protect our own overseas interests, but also to provide necessary support to countries with close political and economic relations with China.
But in terms of what China can actually do about it, we should not expect much in terms of concrete actions. We should expect only condemnations and actions through diplomatic channels. So speeches, statements in the Foreign Affairs Ministry in China, but also in international organizations such as the UN, the Security Council. So these kind of actions, but not much in terms of really concrete actions, such it could be mobilization of warships just to send messages or these kind of things. No, because also Beijing does not want to escalate tensions with the US.
大家好，我是主播林家远。生活压力大，失眠、浅眠是现代人常见的烦恼。太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌现在进一步推出晚安加强版，添加水染GABA、色氨酸、茶氨酸、香蜂草4大天然草本，帮助睡眠的配方。选择太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌，做好日常保养，身体轻松无负担。每日克菲尔，时刻美好 ，Good Feel Good。请上快点购为健康下单，输入推荐码有额外折扣。 太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌基础版、晚安加强版，新包装改版，内容不变，抽取更方便，要吃就吃最好的。